2.
I guess we're early.
We're live.
I'm the one that's supposed to do the countdown.
Fuck you, Stan.
Eat a bad dick. Corner is live in 5. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio. I'm Stan Grove. My tag team partners joining us, Brian Taylor.
What's happening?
What is happening, sir? How are you?
What's happening?
And, of course, from a undisclosed location, Rob Hafner. How are you, Rob?
I am okay.
Poor Rob. You're going to be all right, man. We're going to get you through this.
This too shall pass, sir.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. I don't know how true it is. I haven't confirmed with anybody, but yes, this is indeed the rumor.
You know it.
So, gosh, guys, we've got a few things to cover. We've got a new little, I don't know, a new bit or segment or whatever we're going to give a shot to. But we've got a lot of ground to cover, and I thought we would start with the rumor that I just read no more than 5 seconds ago. I didn't even get a chance to ask you guys about this, but
that you're gay.
That is an unsubstantiated lie, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. No, in this case, we're actually talking about the rumor of WWE having interest in FTR. Big shock, that they're actually interested in talking to FTR when their contracts come up.
I mean,
Just
why
'cause
wouldn't
they're
they,
interested
right?
in talking to them don't mean they're going to talk to them.
Yeah.
I can't see FTR responding to their call, so to speak.
I mean, here's one of the other sides of Cody going back to the E. Is now anytime somebody farts at AEW, someone's going to be like, oh, WWE's going to take them back. WWE's looking at them. The way, as unhappy as FTR was, I don't ever see him going back. I mean, WWE can offer them the world. Doesn't mean they're going to take it.
Yeah, I saw the rumor. It came out of Fightful.com. Sean Ross Sapp is looking to confirm. He did, however, confirm that FTR's contract is expected to be up after another year. So it looks like that wait would be a while.
No, so their contract is up this year, but AEW has the option for another year. Is from the way I understand it.
I can't see them passing up on an opportunity to keep, like, literally the top tag team in the industry right now. I mean, they have had more potential 5-star matches than anybody else, tag team-wise, this year. Anybody. Like, I can't think of any other tag team doing as well as they are right now.
I would imagine you're probably right. And I don't understand why, like, all these people that have left the WWE, they're like, now their AEW contract's up, they just automatically put them going back.
Well, to Rob's point, I think that it's the Cody effect, at least for now. You know, hey, Cody's gone. He's getting big pyro. He's getting a big payout. Maybe we could finally get that from the WWE. Never mind that week 3 of Cody's return. Way too early to call that a success or a failure.
They've already pooped it.
Well, having him do a rematch with Seth Rollins so soon, and 50-50 is going to happen at WrestleMania Backlash. So
yeah,
I got to agree with you. I see this as a total lose in that situation.
Well, plus you throw the Miz in the mix. So,
and then you throw in the fact that WWE has ran out of steam on naming their pay-per-views. I mean, I thought, Roadblock and Exit Ramp and all those were stupid, but now you got WrestleMania Backlash.
Wonder if they'll do another set of rematches and call it Roundabout.
Oh, that's actually quite clever. Roundabout.
Thank you. It's alarming.
To me, the thing about FTR, right, is they want to be the best. They thought they could be the best in WWE, and now they're finding out I don't need to be there to be the best. And I don't think it's about the money, because I'm pretty sure they probably have the money. I think right now it's about being the best.
Well, it's also the fun of, I would think, they're the ones who started this whole thing with the Briscoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're the ones who called out the Young Bucks before they were even released from WWE, you know? They started this whole going to a point, going across genres or promotions and stuff. So, I mean, why would you want to go back? I mean, it's just, for them, it would be a step back. And I agree. Like, we haven't seen how the Cody thing's going to pan out, but there's going to be those people that if he gets the belt, they're still going to be like, it was the worst thing ever. You know, if he doesn't get the belt, there's going to be people waiting to say, I told you so. But FTR, I mean, it's just because their contract's coming to an end does not mean that Tony Khan's not already signing them to something else.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the right of, I guess it's kind of like the right of first refusal, so to speak. You know, he gets the right to re-up them or not. So, I mean, that's really the big question here is does WWE take advantage and try to make it right? And does AEW just say, no, we're not going to do that? My thought process is with the latter. I can't see Tony Khan saying, yeah, let's just let that contract lapse. No, he's going to keep them because they're a huge commodity for him. And even if he didn't,
but that couldn't happen until next year. Yeah,
correct.
But that couldn't happen until next year.
Yeah.
This year, there's no right of refusal or whatever. It's he's either going to re-up them or he's going to let them go. And there's no negotiation in this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This year it's totally in Tony's hands. And then next year, I bet you he'll pay out the butt for him.
Yeah, I think it comes to a lot of these bobbleheads and these people, me using a Brian term, you know, these bobbleheads and other people like that. It's coming because Tony Khan's been very vocal saying, you know what? I kept a lot of people when I shouldn't have. And now I'm going to start trimming the fat, basically, you know? Like, there's going to be some people that aren't going to be rehired. So now everybody's like, oh, well, you know, this person's contract's up. This person's contract's up. It's like, I mean, come on now. You know? I mean, I'm a NASCAR fan, and it's like when Kyle Busch is in his contract year, and they're like, is Joe Gibbs going to sign him? Yeah, Joe Gibbs will sign him. You know, I mean, the boy wins races all the time. Let people go is stupid. So,
yeah. Even still, I mean, it was a real personal situation for Cash and Dax when they left. I mean, they took all of the proposed options that were given to them by WWE and said no, including $850,000 a year, which for a tag team had to have been high end for where they were at. But they even if you remember, they even gave them the Raw tag titles as a last ditch effort to try to keep them, I guess, satisfied, and they just said no. We're going to go ahead and go.
Yeah, but let's also not remember that they gave them the this is your new gimmick.
Oh yeah.
The bunch of clowns.
The clocks and
they
the
already
glow sticks.
signed once before.
Right.
Remember, didn't they sign an extension and then they were like, oh, it's going to be so much better. Then, oh, guess what? It wasn't.
Right.
You know? And then they said, you know, we're out of here. And that's the thing. You just gotta go where you're going to be used. And they wouldn't be used in WWE. And hell, who knows who's going to own the WWE in a year?
Well, plus they're going to be very quickly going into a situation where they're going to need to be aware of how small that tag team pool is about to get, because they're getting ready to unify the tag titles over in WWE. So your 6 tag team run, 3 on each brand, is about to become even smaller, because God only knows what they'll do to that. Looks like it's just the Usos and the New Day from here on out, guys.
Oh, that's all it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think that the Raiders will leave once theirs is up. So there goes a big tag team. Bro Orton or whatever it's called, they probably ain't going to hang around but for so long. So, I mean, some of your bigger tag teams are probably, they're not going to be there in a year's time.
RK Bros got to be getting ready to split up. I mean, I can't see them keeping them together too much longer.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You split them up. The Raiders are I'm sure, out the door once their contract's up, because you've made a joke out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't have much left as far as tag
Montez
teams.
Was it Montez Ford?
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you look at the Street Profits, what'll probably happen to them here in the next 6 months is they'll get broken up. Montez will get a push, and Dawkins will probably fade to the background.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a damn shame, because they are a great tag team.
But they can be a great tag team, but if the people that are booking don't realize they're a great tag team, it doesn't matter how great you are.
That, you know? See a team come in, they're like, oh, this is awesome. Never mind. And then, like, you look, and I saw that one, I guess, was it you or somebody in the chat group said Breezango? And that new team on NXT.
Oh, Pretty Deadly, yeah. Yeah, that's what drives me nuts. Like, Pretty Deadly, they're, I'm sorry. I'm not sold. They were okay. I mean, it wasn't a bad gauntlet match on last Tuesday, but to me, it's just Breezango 2.0. That's all that it is.
Well, I mean, then you got Austin Theory doing the same shit that Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and did, coming down with the phone, and I'm so great. And sorry. And then, I mean, totally off the subject of what we're talking about, but to watch the first ever Universal Champ get punked out of his U.S. title to Austin Theory.
Oh no!
Let me
give you a small correction. He's no longer Austin Theory. He's just Theory now.
He should be in theory, but
Vince McMahon has gone back to the edict of no more real names. So Austin Theory came into WWE with that name, or the night off, something.
Well, but he's not the only one.
No, it's
forget
Bruce
some
Pritchard
of the other
too.
ones.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about that are getting name changes while being on the main roster.
Oh yeah. Ludwig Kaiser, Gunther, stupid ass names. Raquel Rodriguez. We talked about it last week, Rob. It's like Vince said, you know what? These aren't ethnic enough. This doesn't sound Spanish enough. Let's change it up even more. I mean, okay.
Yeah, and then you bring in the big weird Indian guy,
Veer. Yeah. The plus to him is that there is some legitimacy behind his persona, but they have yet to lean into it at all. There's a whole Disney movie about this guy, the $1 Million Arm, and nothing's been said, nothing's been done, absolutely nothing. And he's
what? Wait, you threw me there.
Yeah,
he's the baseball playing kid.
Yeah, that's the same
with the lines
guy.
On his head.
Uh-huh.
I just looked at him and said, "Oh well, look, Braun. They didn't do it for Braun. They're not going to do it for him."
Right.
Then Jinder Mahal, they gave him a title for a little bit, but then
Yeah,
but I tell you,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I totally think that Vince has some kind of mental thing where he thinks it's 1985, and he is booking like it's the rock and wrestling era, because it's making no sense.
I have no. I mean, at least in the rock and wrestling era, it made sense. This makes absolutely no sense.
I mean, the only thing missing from today's television is Vince bringing out John Cena in Russian gear. Making John Cena turn bad because he supports whatever.
Well, I mean, the problem is for all those individuals that think that Cody isn't going to get changed here soon, you're out your mind. He'll be changed. He'll probably be next, because Vince will wake up one day and be like, "Well, I didn't create Cody Rhodes. Let's make him Cody Arbuckle or something."
Not Arbuckle. What the hell?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah, early 2008, Rinku Singh, better known as Veer Mahan, entered the Indian reality television show The $1 Million Arm. He was the winner of that contest and ended up getting the Disney movie made after him, and ended up playing in 2009 for the Pirates Gulf Coast League. Struck out the only batter he ever faced.
That's funny.
And now coming to a WWE ring near you.
Boy, oh boy!
But he's been a few years in the making, hadn't he? Because wasn't he in the Greatest Royal Rumble or something?
I believe he did compete in the Greatest Royal Rumble, but he also was one of the lackeys for Jinder Mahal last year. He competed in the Superstar Spectacle, which was dedicated to India's Republic Day. He teamed with oh wow! So he actually took on Jinder Mahal and the Bollywood Boys. This was January of 21. Wow, there's a lot of switching going around there. It's crazy.
Yeah, maybe he'll work out, but I seriously doubt it.
He won't. Because you remember back when Braun Strowman was the big guy who came in and just whooped up everybody. Mm-hmm. Did they ever make the push and give him the title then?
No, and they let him go, and now he thinks that Control Your Narrative is going to take over the world.
Oh dear God! You mean EC3's version of Jerry Lawler's Memphis Wrestling?
I think it's EC3's version of Fight Club is what I think. In his mind, anyway. Those guys are scary, man. I don't know if you've watched many of their promo videos or any of the footage that's available on YouTube, but that's a whole nother level of weird right there. Never mind that Braun Strowman goes after, shit, who did he go after on Twitter? Oh, Buff Bagwell. Called Buff Bagwell a mark and said that he was the one that begged him for a picture during a WWE show. Buff Bagwell says, well, no, that was my agent telling me to get a picture with you and, have a great day kind of thing. Send him on his way. Now,
yeah, these Sin guys are awful crazy.
Is that what you're calling it? Sin? CYN?
Yeah, that's what it is, Sin.
I see what you did there, sir.
That's what it is. That's what they call it, Sin.
It's called Control Your Narrative.
No. If you look at it, it's CYN.
So when you say it's what they call it, it's really what you call it. That's what I'm making sure of.
No. What do you call WWE?
WWE.
But it's not. It's World Wrestling Entertainment, right? Same principle.
So instead of saying, I was going to say, should I call it we?
You probably have in the past.
We.
Same principle, though.
AEW is going to be called
RJ City does a thing on YouTube, and it's called Hey EU. So Hey You. Or EW. Hey EW.
I think what this thing is EC3's doing is just a glorified thing of trying to stay relevant, and no one else will make him champ, and he can only be Impact champ so many more times before they, have to tell him he can't keep coming over. So he says, I'm going to make my own federation, and guess who's the champ? Me!
Well, here's the thing. This is the company that said no super kicks, no Canadian destroyers. You can have sanctioned matches where the normal rules apply. But remember, the biggest fight is within yourself. What the actual hell is that? Huh? I'm not going to wrestling shows for a philosophy lesson. I'm going to watch wrestling. Like, what the hell?
Well, I bet you I bet you Global Force will have a longer run than they would.
How long did Global Force last?
In theory or in Jeff Jarrett's head?
I guess in theory.
I mean, they had a belt, but I think they had, one pay-per-view, that one event that was just them. The rest was all in conjunction with Impact. So, I don't know.
Global Force was doing the gold bars, right? They were selling gold bars or credit cards that had value because of gold bars or something stupid like that.
Holy water.
You can get rich now. Just call 1-800-JEFF-JARRETT.
Yeah, front row seats in the promised land. I will sell you a ticket to the fast pass lane for heaven.
Control Your Narrative, by the way, has scheduled shows May 13th, 14th, and 15th in Cleveland, Detroit, and Milwaukee. Their debut show drew just under 150 people.
They're the second largest federation in the world right now.
That would even pay for EC3's food budget.
Well, when you've got 150 or less people, it's easier to control your narrative. See what I mean?
It's not funny. Even like the Federation's not funny.
Ouch. I tried, Ethan. Or excuse me, EC3. I tried. I tried to help you.
Nope, I didn't like him back in the day. I don't like him now.
I didn't think that we'd ever see another wrestler on social media be more polarizing than like Ryback. But I guess Braun and EC3 have taken over that role.
I mean, wasn't there a time where he was like trying to defend himself or defend his product, and he forgot to change his Twitter handle?
That happened just the other day. He went in there and he said, basically he was putting up a promotion for the next show, and then he retweets it with a comment from what it was supposed to be. I guess it was supposed to be like a dirt sheet writer, and then he responds to himself from his own account, and then responds again, like arguing with himself. And fans were basically calling him out, saying, "Why are you talking to yourself on Twitter?" It was actually quite funny. And weird, but mostly funny. So
there's nothing they do that's funny. They're nincompoops.
Got some hardcore music going on over there. You jamming over there, buddy?
Who?
Whoever's got the guitar going heavy in the background.
It's because the family's got the TV turned up.
Aha! They're partying. They're getting down. Good for them.
At least somebody's having fun.
It won't be forever, man. You can make it. You're going to be okay. We got
I know.
12 more days.
Shut up.
So we have some cool stuff to talk about this week. Some entertaining stuff comparatively with Control Your Narrative and WWE's debacles. How about Battle for the Belts 2? And how about Rampage from this past Friday? Why don't we go and just dive right in with to Rampage from Friday, the Texas death match between Adam Page and Adam Cole. These guys, man, I thought the first one was really good, but this one was pretty good. I think Adam Page is really, really coming into his own.
Yeah, well, I was kind of expecting him to lose, in all honesty. Yeah. 7 o'clock, Friday night, But kudos for him for getting going to the next one.
So who's his next challenger? Is it CM Punk, or are they going to stretch it further?
CM Punk. I think it'll be CM Punk.
And I see them taking the belt off of him. CM Punk taking it.
Yeah, because CM Punk will set up MJF ultimately getting it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that setup, with MJF maybe beating Punk, would that mean that Wardlow, because that feud's still building, could potentially be the one that beats MJF?
I mean, I feel like the Wardlow thing will be done before then. I don't see Wardlow right now being world champ.
See, I wouldn't necessarily see that either. I do like that they backed the build down so that it rebuilds everything and slows everything else down storyline wise. So, like for example, MJF winning by countout on Wednesday. Losing by countout on Wednesday to the Captain Shawn Dean, because Wardlow again distracts him and costs him and Shawn Spears, is just another way of them keeping the two apart but keeping them together on television, which is interesting.
I don't know how interesting it is. There's only so many times Wardlow can come running from outside the arena. I think they just need to hurry up and get the match over and done with, and go from there.
Well, and that would be, let's see, the next match is next pay-per-view's May, and that's Double or Nothing. It would make sense. Got a few weeks to build and get you there. You figure Wardlow wins his freedom, so to speak. MJF steers clear and ends up moving into, I could see that, moving into that shot against CM Punk. Wow, it's hard to believe we're actually almost on Double or Nothing already. This year's flying by.
Well, that's only April. You're okay. You're okay, man.
No, I'm not.
We got a lot more boobery to go.
Boobery, wow. That's an interesting word, sir. Keeping with the theme, though, on Wednesday night, what were your guys' thoughts with CM Punk and Penta Oscuro?
Be quiet.
Rob, do you want to go, man?
What?
Rob, what'd you think of CM Punk versus Penta? Think of CM Punk versus Penta. Think of CM.
He had me on that knee thing for a little bit, but then, Penta's little goblin outside the ring's kind of creepy.
Yeah, Alex Abrahantes, he has really embraced the manager role. I mean, look at it 2 years ago. He was just doing backstage interviews and pre-show and post-shows. Now he's full on a gargoyle for Penta.
He reminded me of that woman in Rapunzel, or the evil witch in Snow White. But it was a good match. So it's like, who is going to be the one that makes Punk lose?
Well, it was a nasty spill he took from the outside or from the inside to the outside, landing on his leg. I honestly thought he was really hurt. He had me sold on that too. Brian, what were your thoughts on Punk and Penta?
Wait. Y'all, no. I like your thoughts. You tell your thoughts. I'm laughing at something on TikTok right now.
Okay. So one of the coolest parts of that matchup was that it wasn't just like rushed. They didn't try to get to the finish and that was it. It was really something that they took their time with. I liked the back and forth between Penta and CM Punk as they were kind of doing the dueling chants, getting everything together and really being just extremely entertaining, but also not having to get into it right away. And when they did, it was fast-paced. The impact of just about everything was felt, in my opinion, especially, like I said, the knee spot where Punk lands awkward, and it really, really made me wonder, dude, are they going to throw the X up? Is that it? And they kept it going. Frankly, I got to agree with Rob. I honestly thought that maybe Penta was going to beat him. It was just that back and forth. I like when a match actually kind of makes you suspend it for a minute and you realize that, wow, maybe this could go a different direction where it's not predictable. It doesn't happen very often in, any other company. Well, let me take that back. It doesn't happen often in WWE, but it happens all the time in AEW where they can make it so you really don't know for sure who's going to win or who's going to lose. So this match definitely satisfied that, and fans all over Twitter were talking about it all night long.
All night.
All night long. All night.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I'm just kind of scanning through. I definitely want to talk about the Ring of Honor TV Championship, but I did also want to identify, hey, I thought that Red Dragon was going to win the titles this past week. I was really kind of disappointed. But I guess the realization hit me that once Jurassic Express loses the titles, that's probably it for Luchasaurus. It's probably Jungle Boy's time to move up, you think?
Oh yeah, he should be on his singles run by now.
Which is a shame.
I mean, I'm tired of him, but
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, because like they did everything that we kind of expected out of that run. I mean, I guess if what's left for them to really do? Like beat the Bucks?
They're not beating the Bucks.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean,
yeah. No, they're going to lose to FTR. And then,
I could see that.
FTR cause this. If you're going to split, you might as well split at FTR.
Mm-hmm.
Jungle Boy needs a singles run.
Well, and the thing is, with Jungle Boy getting a singles run, they really won't have anything to do with Luchasaurus after that. I mean, he might be on Dark and Elevation for a while, but that's going to be about it, in my opinion.
Well, him and Christian can team up.
See, I think Christian's going heel. I think he'll be the one getting in Jungle Boy's ear, talking about how, hey, it was Luchasaurus' fault. Blame the dinosaur.
I guess that's possible.
I guess it's just my wild theory on that.
But yeah, I mean, I think that tag team should be done really quickly, and I think you're gonna make if Jungle Boy is solo, I think that benefits your company more than them as a tag team.
I feel like he would really embrace the bad guy Jack Perry persona after that. I think that would be the best way to do it.
You realize how bad that's going to screw up JR?
Jungle Jack Perry. That son of a bitch. I can't believe he did that. Well, JR already got thrown off this past, was it Wednesday or Friday, where he saw his twin in the crowd. He's like, what the hell? And all of a sudden you see on the screen there's a fan that looks damn near just like him.
Yeah, I forget what day it was.
You know, I joke about it a lot that maybe JR's time is passed him by for him to maybe retire or at least go to the back and do some production work. But every now and again he hits one of those moments that reminds you, no, he's not really done yet. He still has it. It's just, you know, I think he gets to a point, it's a 3-man team, and it's hard to keep up in a 3-man booth, especially when you got 2 really that are doing play-by-play, and then you got 1 doing color commentary. And Jim Ross is usually the guy doing play-by-play. He's not usually the one on color, so it's a different role.
Tope Supercida.
Although I will say I like William Regal when he comes out to guest cameo for commentary. He's quite good at it.
I wonder how long till Joe gets a shot at it.
Oh, man. Well, so my question, and I'm glad you brought that up because I want to get into the main event from Dynamite before we talk about really the 2 bigger shows of the week, which was Rampage and Battle of the Belts. Joe and Minoru Suzuki had a hell of a time just beating the shit out of each other. Chops, forearms. I mean, they spent a good 10 minutes just chopping the hell out of each other. It was nuts. And then we get to that point, and suddenly Suzuki's got him in the sleeper, and he's looking for the pile driver. And I'm like, damn, they're going to have Suzuki beat Samoa Joe on AEW. Like, I really started to wonder, and then we get Samoa Joe wins the title, which, great for Joe, but the question becomes, okay, 1, how good is Joe's health? Most likely it's good because, you know, obviously he was cleared to go, but was he ever hurt in WWE then? Like, was he ever suffering from a real bad concussion, or was it just a matter of them just not putting him on TV?
Boy, if you were here, I would smack you right across your face.
I mean, I think it's both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think could he have been hurt? Yeah. Because everybody gets hurt. But then there's a time that WWE plays the game. And just like magically other people are ready to go and all healed when they get somewhere else, you know? So it's just, there's so many there's so many problems with a company. Like, you know how companies will bring in consultants to say, hey, this is what's wrong with your company. How can you fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, WWE can't get any consultants to come in because they're like, nope, we can see it's fucked up from the floor up. We ain't doing nothing.
Damn. Don't hold back, Rob. Please.
You know, how can you fix this company? Sell it. That's how you can fix it.
So, Brian, you said that if I was there, you'd smack me in the face. Why, man? Why would you do such hostility?
I would have to hit you like Joe hits Suzuki or Suzuki hits Joe.
That's just not nice. Why would you want to cause violence to me, sir?
So Joe said in the media scrum when he showed up that he had a lot of compounding injuries in the WWE, which contributed to that whole debacle. But they were like legit injuries that, you know, just compounded. So. But how dare you besmirch Joe's name thinking he would just be faking it or something?
I mean, I'm not saying he was faking it. And I mean,
or the WWE would, do their thing or whatever you said.
Well, and here's the thing: I wouldn't put it past them to keep him from working. I mean, look what they did to all of those other people during 19 and 20, man. Is it really that wild of a theory?
That they what? Lied about him being hurt?
Yeah.
How many people have they lied about being hurt anyway?
And I'm not saying that he didn't have compounding injuries. Maybe he did. I mean, every wrestler's banged up. Well, not every, but a lot of them are. So it's expected that he would, and he's obviously not going to burn a bridge, because let's face it, he did have a pretty sweet deal there. No, they didn't do everything they could have done with him, but he had a decent run. Wasn't what it could have been. No doubt. He had a decent run there.
What?
In WWE.
What was his decent run other than outside of NXT?
Well, damn, he just took NXT away. I guess it wasn't decent. Shit. All right, so there you go.
I mean,
but
Stan,
I'll give you that.
Why would you think they wouldn't when they routinely through the years have faked an injury, have done this or that to get somebody off TV so they can film a movie?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have they been like, oh, he's hurt, he's out because he's, but we all know he's filming a movie, he's filming a TV show, or,
right.
His wife's giving birth, they're, and so, sure as hell they'll lie about, oh, well, he can't come in because they probably couldn't figure out anything to do with him. Because they knew at the time that if they put him out there in TV, they'd show exactly what's wrong with the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one reason they keep Nakamura and all of them kind of chained to a point, because they don't want him to go out and show what's going on because they can't keep up week to week.
Well, that's obvious. I mean, they haven't been able to keep up for a long time. With this, it's just interesting because it really was like Joe had never taken a half step back away from the ring, like at all. Like he's performing at a high level. So it's more complimentary to him than anything else. But it does make you wonder because, I mean, Brian brought it up earlier. He did great on commentary. He was really good. And he knew how to turn it from, the wrestler's perspective to kind of a hype role where he would get you excited for whatever was going to happen, or at least do his best because it's WWE. And then he took every role that he had over there, especially towards the end in his NXT run, where he made you pay attention to it. So now here we are. He wins the TV championship for Minoru Suzuki in a banger of a match. I believe Meltzer gave it 4.5 stars, which is a pretty solid rating. I would have to agree with that. And now we've got him and potentially another awesome matchup, him and Jay Lethal, which, I mean, if you're not expecting that match to blow the doors off, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, yeah, but isn't Jay going after Gresham too?
So I would say yes, but apparently Gresham was injured on Friday night after his match with Dalton Castle. By the way, his match with Dalton Castle, tremendous. Really, really good stuff.
I still haven't watched Battle of the Belts.
Oh, really? Wow, I'm surprised to hear that. Pretty good show.
Yeah, so this should be on my TiVo, but I've been working since last Monday. Not this past Monday, last Monday. Every day. So a lot of times I've been sitting in a chair going to sleep.
Well, it'll wear you out if you're not careful, that's for sure. So Dynamite, I felt like was really well done all the way up until the end. Satnam Singh, a big 7-foot-tall former NBA D-League player, making his debut with Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal for the beatdown on Gresham and Samoa Joe. This went over like a lead balloon.
Wait, Gresham wasn't out there.
Shit. What do we do now with this big 7-foot tall gentleman from India? The reason so many people are talking about it comes to light with news that WrestleMania was seen by over 56 million viewers in India alone, which blows my mind. That's a lot of people, and that's a huge market to try to tap into. I'm not sure Dynamite with the lights out, lights on surprise was the right way to debut this guy, but okay. After seeing that statistic, I can't say I don't understand why they would at least try. And who knows, had he come out there and maybe moved a little faster or whatever, and again, it's just observation, maybe the crowd would have been more into it. Because I think a lot of people saw it, they're like, yeah, who the hell is this guy? Why is he just stumbling to the ring? He reminded me of Great Khali at first. But then fast forward to Friday night at Rampage, it was a completely different story. And the crowd was hot for it. What the hell changed?
How did I miss that on Rampage?
Well, I mean, it was done in pretty fast fashion. Dalton Castle and Jonathan Gresham have, like I said, it was a really good match for the Ring of Honor Championship. Gresham, you missed it.
That was
completely.
Friday night and not Saturday?
Well, if I'm getting my days mixed up, it wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of wrestling that happened this past week.
No, I think that's, isn't that Battle of the Belts?
Oh, my God. Yeah, let me just make sure I've got this card pulled up. Damn it. That's why. It's all running together. So much wrestling this past week. So much. It's bled my brain over. And then yesterday, just being absolutely out of it, this just bleeds it all over again. Gresham and Dalton Castle happened Saturday at Battle of the Belts. This was taped during the tapings for Dynamite, or after Dynamite. So what they normally would have taped Rampage with. But during this matchup, Saturday, Gresham beats Dalton Castle, and out comes Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, and Sanjay Dutt. And Singh, this time, suddenly is moving like he's got, ants in his pants. He's moving fast, hitting choke slams and everything, and the crowd's going nuts. So in the span of, because it was taped in the same night, 3 hours, suddenly the crowd's like, oh, we know this guy. And we get a much better reaction. And he has a much better performance. I don't knock Tony Khan for giving it a try. You had to try it and see if it would work. Not everything's going to be a Grand Slam.
Well, and reaction goes to the performance for a lot of it,
Mm-hmm.
If you come out and half-ass it and we're kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever. But also, if it was, like you said, if it was taped, so it would have been taped before, right?
It would have been. Well, either before or after. I'm not sure. I really don't know. Because they do dark and elevation usually. Right.
So it had been taped before, and so, oh my God, here's this guy. What is it? And then the one we all see first turns out to be the second one, which they're like, oh, we already see this. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Well, and plus, the lights out, lights on thing is usually a sign of it's either the House of Black or a big debut, which 7'3" is a big debut. Can't argue with that. But, I think the crowd was like, oh my God, what free agents here now? Like, there's still a lot on the table, by the way. Johnny Gargano, for example, still out there. But, I mean, you get to Saturday's taping, or, the taping they did for Saturday, and the crowd now has seen him at least once. And now that they see him in action and see him moving with some urgency, they're like, oh, yeah, all right. And they booed appropriately. But it was a good reaction the second time around.
They made Sanjay Dutt a bad guy. That's not cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. Has Sanjay ever been a bad guy before?
You took one of the nation's capital's most cherished commodities.
Help me out, Brian, Rob. You guys watched a little bit more TNA than I did. Was Sanjay Dutt ever a bad guy before?
I don't know.
I Maybe.
If
It'd be
so, I
interesting
completely
to
missed
look
it.
up. Well, yeah, but you didn't really watch Impact, though, did you? Or TNA or whatever it was called back then.
In the early years, I did, but then after about
TNA. So, like, when it was like
the
legit
guns,
TNA.
yeah, the Machine Guns, America's Most Wanted, Triple X. That's my favorite time of TNA. Like, America's Most Wanted was one of my favorite tag teams, and well, James Storm did really well with his career, so there's a plus. And you'd have never had Beer Money if you didn't have America's Most Wanted.
Beer Money. I love Beer Money.
Beer.
Sitting here, I pulled up Google, and I'm like staring at the text cursor, like, what was I going to type? Oh yeah, Sanjay Dutt heel.
I already did. I'm looking at it now.
They came up with Sanjay laughing at him. Ha 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 ha.
Let's see here. Dutt was announced as part of Shakara, and well, we really got to get all. There we go.
It does say, like, when you do Wikipedia, it says Dutt would turn heel later in the night, aligning with Lethal, and would afterward. Oh no, I guess
Yeah,
that's
that was-
from this past week.
That's from Battle of the Shit. So I guess not. He was the playa from the Himalayas. He was the love guru at one point, which was supposed to be a good guy. And then, yeah.
Surely he had to have been somewhere.
He was part of Global Force Wrestling. That by itself should make him a heel.
Makes him a sucker, not a heel.
Hope he got paid in cash.
Or I wonder if they got paid in, like, timeshares on the moon or something.
Him and Elon Musk are going to fly to Mars.
Why are you making fun of Elon Musk? He's at least trying to get us off this planet.
He's
You don't
already
like
put a
Earth
car up
anymore?
there for us to drive.
That's right. That's right. No housing, no oxygen, but we've got a car we could drive.
Wonder if the battery's
You don't-
still good.
You don't think they ain't working on that?
It's probably already there. There's probably already some bunker on Mars. We just don't know about it. We'll find out. There's been colonies of people from Earth living on Mars for the past like 30 years. We're like, oh shit, surprise!
Well, you just remember, when it comes time to make the first trip, you just tell them, no, you want to stay here.
No, sir, Mr. Musk. I'm happy here on Earth. You have a great time. Thank you. When Armageddon hits, when the meteors come.
You saw how we handle toilet paper and hand sanitizer. So, like, imagine how we would be if they actually said, oh, yes, we have a colony waiting for you on Mars.
Hand sanitizer, toilet paper, and soap. And
Well, it's like I didn't realize till what? Maybe a couple months ago when I was hearing people talk about moon exploration that China had landed on the dark side of the moon and never told anybody.
Yeah, they figured it was dark. Nobody saw it.
They haven't shared any information or anything. I'm like, oh, wow.
All kidding aside, I feel like we're in a scary, scary time right now with all these different countries doing what they're doing.
It's scary how many people have space accessibility.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little weird. So, Sammy Guevara...
You guys.
That was an awkward pause, but what the hell? Sammy Guevara challenges Scorpio Sky for the TNT title at Battle for the Belts, or Battle of the Belts. It looks like Sammy and Ty Conti are leaning 100% into the crowd booing them. He hasn't officially turned, but it sure seems like that's on the way.
I will say I think that was the the dumbest thing. I think that even eclipses the lights off and on thing that Scorpio Sky would lose
so quickly too. Like,
yeah.
I like Scorpio Sky a lot. I feel like he has a lot to offer. AEW as a singles athlete. I think Men of the Year, a good tag team. I don't like Dan Lambert. I don't enjoy his work at all. I feel like he's just annoying. But
amen.
I feel like his negative returns come back on Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, even if it's not intentional.
I don't think so. Honestly, I actually think he's fairly decent as a manager. I just don't think they, for whatever reason, they have this love affair with Sammy Guevara.
Well, I think the comment, and I want to say it was might have been Punk that first. No, it was MJF that first said it. The 4 pillars comment included Sammy Guevara, and I feel like Tony Khan's 100% bought in on that.
Well, I mean, now what's it? 3-time TNT champ.
Mm-hmm.
Technically,
so,
4. He was an interim champ and now 3-time TNT. So technically, it's 4.
So I mean, that shows that they want him to move up, but there's no place to move him up to, because you can't have him compete with the big guys. So
yeah. I don't see him challenging Adam Page. That's for sure.
Wow. I mean, is he good? Is he going to be one of these that sits just at this level and is 20-time, like Aaron Anderson at the TV title,
Well, and that's just it. That would be my concern. At least right now, until Sammy has, gets up a level a little bit. I just don't know. I don't see it. I see him as just another guy.
Yeah, but why can't he compete against Adam Page?
Why can't he? I would say that it's really right now, timing just wouldn't make any sense for it. Because if he did, he would just be another guy that Adam Page would beat. Put it to you this way. I wouldn't see him as AEW World Champion and being like the marquee name on their shows. At least not right now. Doesn't mean he can't be ever, but right now I just don't see it. He's fresh out of Inner Circle.
Marquee enough?
Not yet.
I'm just curious.
I feel like he's fresh out of Inner Circle. He's had some great performances. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't compete eventually, but right now I just don't see them putting. I couldn't see them putting the company on his shoulders. Not when you have Danielson, Moxley, hell, Jericho, Punk, Page, Cole. You have so many guys at the top of the card right now. MJF. I mean, are you saying that you feel like he would fit right within that mix?
No, I'm just curious because you're the one who like put him in that category and then said, he couldn't compete with Adam Page.
In my opinion, I don't think he will right now. It just wouldn't make any sense.
Are you saying like as champ or like he can't because he's so much smaller than Page?
Oh no! I don't. You know me. I don't give a shit about the size of the guy. I think it's about how he works in the ring. I don't think right now it would make any sense to just have him go up against Adam Page. And I feel like when I say eventually he can, it's going to be because he's evolved his character to a different level. Right now, I just don't know that anybody would. They buy into him for what he is right now, and that's TNT champion. But I don't see them buying in for a world title run. Unless it was a small one. Unless it was a quick run where, say, he gets screwed out of it by eventually Scorpio Sky or MJF or somebody like that. And even then, if it was Scorpio Sky, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of faith that they would do right by Scorpio Sky again. Because they just took the belt off him after, a month? 2 months? That's not even 2 months. That's sad for having that kind of a winning streak. Sheesh. I mean, how do you rebound with that? It's to your point, Brian. Sammy Guevara is just, in my opinion, he is one of the pillars there. But are you telling me that you think he could be world champ and carry that company on his shoulders with guys like that at the top?
Yeah, but not every guy who becomes world champ carries the company.
Sure, but that's kind of the indication of what you're giving that person, right? When he's world champ for your company. Not saying he has to, but it's kind of the indication that you trust him with it.
Sure, but sometimes you use the hot hand.
That's true. That's true. You go with whatever's hot right now.
But again, I mean, when you're like, I don't think he can like hang with Adam Page or whatever. I think that's not right. Because I think they could put on great matches, and he could. I mean, so AEW is not stacked with big guys like the WWE. So a guy like Sammy, who's shown you that he can put on good matches, can probably put on good matches with 95% of the roster, right? And for more of the niche audience that AEW is, it's quite possible he could be world champ and carry that thing simply off of the way his matches play out.
Yeah, that's a valid point. So I guess to correct myself, I'm not saying that he couldn't hang with Adam Page. I don't mean it like that at all. What I'm saying is this right now, as far as timing, I just couldn't see them putting him at the top. But no, I definitely agree with you. He could certainly hang and have great matches with all of them. So no, I agree with you there.
This is where you say, Brian, you're right.
Okay.
No, it's not about being right. It's like, again, to me, AEW is the type of place that you can flip on. And a guy like Sammy could win and be given a chance, and it may actually turn out to benefit the company. You know what you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So
even though I don't like the guy and he shouldn't be world champ, to me it could be interesting to see him as world champ.
I suppose it's all about the dance partner then. It's all about who he's in the ring with.
Has he wrestled Punk yet?
No, he has not yet. That match, I imagine, would be really good.
Daniel Bryan?
No, he has not.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking like at the measuring, to me, the measuring sticks of the company are.
Mm-hmm.
And how he would stack up against, like, your true measuring sticks. Your Adam Cole, Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Danielson, CM Punk, I guess you got to put up there.
Did it hurt for you to say that? He's like, God damn it, I got to say Punk. Shit.
But again, I mean, to me, they're like the difference between the WWE and AEW is there's so much more money involved in the WWE.
Sure.
That when you look at a champion, you expect the champion to do the TV shows and
Yeah, I see your point there. Yeah.
But with AEW right now, you don't have that pressure.
That's a very valid point. You're absolutely right. I mean, the day after WrestleMania, Roman, Cody, Miz, and Ronda all had TV tours they had to do.
Yeah.
So that's a huge burden. You're absolutely right on that.
Yeah, sure. Again, I don't necessarily think AEW needs somebody to carry the company. They just need to continue to to do what they're doing as far as wrestling goes.
And that's what's going to keep them solid as they get to that next level, because I don't think we're that much further away from them. I mean, they're doing really well right now. I'm not sure where Sonny got his information about, because he put it in the chat, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about how Warner's not happy with the ratings because of the blood and all that. Nothing could be further from the truth. Warner Media has been really bragging about AEW, both on TNT and TBS, because they're drawing close to 1 million viewers a week. And they look at that as a huge success. They don't have a problem with blood. If you think TNT's got a problem with blood, then maybe watch, I don't know, Animal Kingdom. Have you seen that damn show? Claws? Whatever I mean, they have some real raunchy shit on TNT. They ain't worried about blood loss, man. What? Because they say shit during the show? No, they don't care. They don't care. TBS doesn't care either, because it's just like back in the day when Turner had a wrestling program on. It's cheap TV for them. Wrestling doesn't cost that much to put on television. Wrestling like WWE does it, all right, that's expensive. I'll give you that. But AEW's presentation, Bischoff, he said that he thinks it's $450,000 a show. I got to call bullshit on that. There's no way it's $450,000 to put on that show. And I'm not trying to put them down. It's just I don't think that they're doing that much.
Are they considering salaries in that $450,000?
He's
or
got
are they
to
just
be
doing production costs.
Well, in my opinion, he's got to be doing salaries with that because, well, I mean, you've got a truck for the ring and a truck for the 2 trucks probably for the staging, maybe 3. So 4 total trucks, ring crew, staff.
You could probably get the trucks in two trucks. Probably get the stage in 2 trucks, 1 or 2 if you pack it right. Because all that stuff comes down and lays pretty flat. So
he's got production teams.
You got.
Why am I drawing
TV.
a blank on this? Yeah, thank you. Camera guys, editors, sound guys. He probably got some contractors on hand to build a set if he ever needs to. His gear, the folks that make the gear, I think they're under contract for him.
Craft services.
Yep. So, I mean, $450,000, that's a lot of money to be talking about. I just don't see it.
Yeah,
but
you think
it costs
about
that much for the LEDs and stuff?
Well, they also get 3 shows out of 1.
Right.
I mean, so if you're thinking about, they $450,000 for the show. I mean, it's going to cost money to move your set from place to place.
Right.
But it's your set, it's your people. So that's a cost you're already incurring. Mm-hmm. Unless you come to a union building, then your people can't touch it, that the union people have to.
Right. It's got to be the union people that are working on it and all that.
But, I mean, it's your lighting people, it's your sound people, and most likely he's a businessman, so he's subcontracted out to another company. So all he has to do is pay this company, and the company has the overhead. He probably, and next time you watch Dynamite, watch the ending credits and see, because a lot of times they'll put at the end, like, video stuff provided by blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And that way he doesn't have the overhead for that. I mean, it's just... I mean, it could be pretty expensive, but...
Yeah, you also got to figure there are probably more people involved than we're aware of.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, even if you look at, like, what we do, right? Sure, you're going to have a ring crew, more than likely. You're going to have the stage crew. You're going to have the lighting crew. You're going to have any number of different crews so that when you arrive at a building, each crew can go put up their individual thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like 50 little. It's not 50 Oompa Loompas putting up everything. You're going to have 10 here, 5 here, whatever. And the T-shirts, your T-shirt, the guys printing the T-shirts in the truck out back. And I mean, there's probably a lot of things that we just, because we're on a much smaller scale that we're not privy to. And then don't forget that even though, if you don't think salaries can get that high real quick, you may pay your top guys might be making $5,000 to $10,000 a week, and so that builds up. Tony Khan probably gets a salary. I forget the woman's name, like his second in command. They show her a lot on some of these little shows that AEW does. So she's demanding money, not demanding, but she's getting a paycheck.
Sure.
So there's just a lot of people and a lot of things we probably are not privy to.
Well, if you factor the salaries in with that number that Bischoff guesstimated, then yeah, you're probably right, because you've got a lot of talent there making in the millions per year. So yeah, you can get to that number pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's a damn good point.
But if AEW is that, I wonder what the WWE's is.
It's got to be crazy high. I mean, almost bleeding money crazy high.
I mean, because you think about all the people you don't see who they're paying to be there anyway.
Yeah.
And don't forget, so I can remember going to, I think it was a WWE, maybe. And they had, the soundboards.
Mm-hmm.
They were almost down in front of me. And this thing almost stretched, the entire side of the arena. They had so many different soundboards. Boards to operate the Trons and, everything else. So, excuse me. Again, it's those little things that we probably don't see all that often, or you forget about, that are going to add up quick.
Oh, their production, the monitors themselves, just the brief chances I had to take a look at it, that's got to be hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. And you're toting it around, and you figure it breaks down. It's got to break down fast with as rough and tumble as they are on their stuff.
Well, they also have to have, for everything they have, WWE and AEW, for every piece of equipment they have to have 2 or 3 backups.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your lighting computer breaks, well, guess what? Your show still goes on, so you need to bring out the backup computer.
Right.
Your soundboard goes down. Your monitors go down at the booking thing. At the table. The things you have to have a backup. You see it all the time with microphones when a microphone dies. But I mean, it would be neat to have an actual cost of what it is. And how much they clear at these events, I'd love to know that. They come to DC, all right, how much does AEW clear? How much does the venue make? How much is TV? Because you got to think also, they get a TV contract with all the commercials. So when they're in Poughkeepsie, are they making money? Are they ending that show in the green, or is it kind of just part of the territory,
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying, in the scale we've done, some shows you end up in the black, some shows you end up in the red. Are you doing it because you're going to end up in the black, or are you doing it because you're going to end up in the red, and it's just publicity at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Paying off for the future.
Well, and that's
yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I would imagine, though, that TV pays for the, I would imagine the bulk of their money comes off of TV and commercials, and, and that type of stuff. And then, some of these arenas that AEW, especially AEW, goes to, there's no way that they can even pay for that arena. If that makes sense. Like look at the last one we went to.
Mm-hmm.
They had, I forget how many people it wasn't, but it was small. It was like a 4,000 seat arena or something like that.
Yeah. They had 4,500 in a arena that seats 5,000.
Yeah. So, you figure going from 11, 12,000 seat arena to a 4,000 seat arena.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably a chunk of change. And that's where your TV and your commercials and, your partners and all that are probably coming into play more.
Well, plus you've got Dark Elevation being filmed at Universal now, which is smart. It's a central location. You send, I suppose, your developmental, if that's what we're phrasing it, down there, and you have them film 3 weeks worth of TV in one shot. You're saving money there too. Plus, you already have the equipment all set up there, so you don't even have to worry about transport.
Mm.
To me, it's WWE. They got Fox and USA that paid through the nose for their TV rights, and at the time that they made the deal, that was, help me out, 18 or 19? 19. Because it's just before the pandemic. We're talking billions of dollars. And they were drawing less than 3 million viewers per show. AEW is drawing right at an average of 1 million for Dynamite and somewhere between 600,000 and 700,000 for Rampage. Their pay-per-view buys, I haven't seen recent numbers from Revolution, but their pay-per-view buys are still pretty steady with over 100,000 buys for the past 4 shows, I think, is what I saw. So from a TV perspective, with Warner Media being happy with the ratings where they are, and let's face it, 1 million viewers on the average, that's a good slice of your market share. So that's not bad at all. They're going to pay them when it's time to renew the rights. AEW is going to get some cash. They're not underperforming. As a matter of fact, say what you want about growth, and I hear you. Yeah, we'd all love to see wrestling in general start drawing more and getting larger ratings. The fact of the matter is, your average audience size is about 3 million people per week, roughly. So the viewers that you're getting, that's your audience. So if they're getting 1 million, if they're getting 1/3 of that share, yeah, they're doing pretty damn good. So I can't see why they would ever have any concern about where they're going to be on television. And with the purchase of Ring of Honor, while I do have concerns that you could, if you don't do it right, overload. But if Ring of Honor gets a streaming deal, for example, which apparently that's rumored to be happening, all the better. Now you get to control even more income on that, and that's even smarter. I feel like Tony Khan really has a good feel for what he's doing.
So do I think they'll go out of business? No, but you won't. The thing about this is you're not going to find out what Warner Brothers Discovery, whatever it's called now, actually thinks about AEW until this next contract.
Right.
Because then you're going to find out, right? I bet you if you look at like the commercials and compare the commercials between Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because I'm not throwing 2.0 in there.
Yeah,
the
right
type
now
of
you can't.
Yeah, the type of commercials you'll get on AEW is probably a little bit lower than, say, SmackDown or Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Based off of, like who is buying commercial space. But if Warner really wants this, then they're going to start dumping money. So then you're going to start getting bigger company ads in there, which are going to generate more money for, everybody involved.
Well, and this is the thing right now, and I say it a lot because I'm not trying to be a bobblehead for either side, but the reality is, comparatively, AEW is still in their infancy comparatively. Like, when you look at it, they're still super young in what they're doing. So the foundation of what they're building in the ring is even more important. And the TV deal that they have right now, even if they renew it and it's only, I don't know if this number is high or low, 15% above what they're doing now, money-wise, they're still going to see a lift. I just feel like, especially with all of the chatter right now, and hey, I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan, and I'm hopeful for him, but after seeing him get booked against Rollins for WrestleMania Backlash, my hope is slowly dwindling. I feel like that's not enough to say that, well, they lost one of their main guys. No, they lost a guy. It was a loss, I guess, but you still have umpteen main event talents that we were just talking about, just the previous segment, and then talking about guys like MJF, who's just ready to step into there. Sammy, who could compete at that level. Like I said, in my opinion, I don't see it happening right now, but it doesn't mean he can't. It's just my opinion. When you really look at it, though, there's just more factors that people just ignore, and it's silly.
Oh, well, yeah, but they ignore it because that's how they've been trained. Well, that's what they've been trained to do.
True, that's true. There's a large audience out there that's like, well, if you're not WWE, you're not nothing. That's true. It's a valid point.
Well, it goes both ways.
Sure.
Honestly, because now it's starting to. Now you have some of the diehards AEW. Sorry, that get in these stupid little conversations with bobbleheads, and neither one of them makes sense. And
well, plus they're just yelling and screaming and trolling one another just for the sake of doing it. It's like, push new talent.
I mean, look. Did you see the one like a week ago when they were talking about ECW?
Oh yeah, and some lady said, "Wasn't Sheamus their champion or some bullshit like that?" Like what? That made me want to cry. I'm like, oh my god, that's so much wrestling history you just ignored, or just don't know.
Ignored,
yeah, it's a shame, man. I mean, I don't know who chimed in, but go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just because you can yell louder than the person you're arguing with doesn't mean you're right.
Oh, very true. Very true. So, one thing you definitely want to catch, if you haven't seen it already, is the Texas Death Match with Adam Page and Adam Cole. We talked about that.
Way to bring it back.
What's that?
Way to bring it back around.
Trying my best, man. Trying to keep
an hour
everything
after he mentioned the match, but hey.
I didn't forget. Just, we go on tangents. It's okay. That's what we do.
It's our show. We can go wherever we want.
Damn right. Who needs a format? Format. That's funny.
Now, if we have sponsors that want to show us where to go, then you can call us.
We'll definitely listen, and try to do most of that. Some people made comments about the ending of the Texas Death Match where Adam Page takes the barbed wire and wraps it around the head of Adam Cole. Sean Ross Sapp puts on Twitter that he made basically on Good Friday, he put a crown of barbed wire thorns on Adam Cole's head. I know he was going for the joke, but apparently some fans didn't see it that way and really took offense to it, or they just felt it was a good time to start trolling. Either way, I feel like there's a huge reach. There's absolutely no way that they sat in the back and said, hey, today's Good Friday. You know what we need to do? Yeah, that's a great idea. I just don't see that happening. People are thinking way too hard on this shit.
I won't get into it, but I'd have to disagree on your last point. That they wouldn't sit in the back and do that.
I could see him doing it just because.
Yes, I could too. Now, again, we're not saying they did. I'm sure Rob
Right.
is, the same as me. We're not saying they did. Because honestly, I think if you go back and look, it looks like he tries to wrap it around his face.
Yeah, he just
And
couldn't
then
get
when
it to go.
Right. And then he just kind of throws it on his head, and it just sticks.
Right.
But you know as well as I do, there have been plenty of instances where people have sat in the back and done completely tasteless stuff in the world of pro wrestling.
Oh, sure.
For nothing more than to try and pop a crowd.
Right. I mean, there's the crucifixion of the Sandman. There's the crucifixion of Steve Austin. The kidnapping of Stephanie McMahon for a sacrifice. That's just to name a few.
Yeah.
Turning America's G.I. Joe into a Iraqi sympathizer during the Desert Storm War.
Yep. How about Vince McMahon challenging God to a tag team match? That happened. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff out there that you have a good point. And I don't know that I would take the position either of saying they deliberately did or didn't. But I just felt like people were just working way too hard for that. Bro, it's just a match. It's just they took barbed wire, they used it, let it go. Just keep it moving.
Yeah, but again though, that's the way they are now, right? You just made a point about the fans 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody now has a voice, and they think they have to voice it. No, just because you're on Twitter, that doesn't mean that your opinion matters to anybody. But then next thing you know, one troll says something, the next troll's got to chime in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you see it all the time when it goes back to even like a wrestler posts a picture and be like, "Hey, look, I'm having a good day," and then people all got to be like, "Well, it's because you da 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 da,"
right?
Or why should you do that? I'm like Brian said. Brian said it great. Just because you have a Twitter handle does not mean you're an expert.
Right.
It does not mean I should have to pay attention to you. And just because you tweet all day doesn't make you even more.
Yeah, and see, don't get me wrong, I do like reading those though when I see them, because most of the time, like halfway through, you're going to find some of the stupidest comments in the world, and you're like, well, why? If I could control Twitter for a day, you would not be on Twitter no more because you're just so dumb. Again, referring to the ECW post,
right.
Oh, well, they didn't bleed when Sheamus and that guy Hagar.
Yeah, love the spelling, by the way.
Yeah, and there was a third one. They didn't bleed when they were in ECW. And you just want to reach into your Twitter and like big hand come out the phone, smack them, and
keep ECW's name out your fucking mouth.
Out your mouth. It's almost a shame New Jack wasn't alive for that one.
He would look a person up, go to their house, and probably stab them or tase them for that kind of nonsense.
Walk out the door, the first thing in the morning, there's New Jack with a stapler.
So let's talk about this ECW thing.
Yeah.
What'd you say about Sheamus? He wasn't even in ECW.
Well, it's like, I think that if like going on what Brian said, if I ran Twitter or whatever, as soon as somebody posts something stupid, I'd have that scene out of Billy Madison, that video where the guy comes and goes, "Nowhere in the last 15 minutes of your incessant rambling did you scratch the surface of a relevant answer. We award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul." And we are all dumber for listening.
Best part of that movie, I think. That might actually be.
But imagine somebody posts something like, "Ha, ha, ha," and then just automatically, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Makes me wish
your
there was
comment
like
has
an
been
idiot
deleted
button on
because
Twitter.
you're a moron.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, some of the stuff people say.
Yeah, I mean, people just don't put a whole lot of thought behind what they're typing, and they just don't realize that it's Oh, wait. That's probably not the right thing. Oh, well.
No, you're wrong. You know how many of them probably sit there and they retype it, type it, retype it, type it, and then they sit back going, this is awesome. They hit send, and the rest of the world's going, you dumb fuck.
Here's all the reasons why you should have not have tweeted this.
Yeah. They should, again, get one of those automatic tweets going, your tweet has been deleted because, 1, it was stupid. 2, you're a moron. 3...
Yeah, I mean, so here's again to make my point, right? So I just flipped over Facebook, 5 posts down. WWE reportedly want 2 former stars back following their success in AEW. Of course, they talk about FDR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top one says, no, they're having too much fun outside WWE. You know, they're wrestling other teams, yada, yada, yada. The first comment below that, better than being in a completely piss-poor managed company like AEW runs.
What?
And the race is on. The race is on from there.
Oh, I'm sure that somebody needs to just grab the popcorn because that comment section's about to be hot. Good Lord. Poorly
That's why
managed?
nobody tunes in, and they never broke their original viewer numbers.
A piss-poor management company. All right.
Wait a minute. That I am so confused. Are they sure they're talking about AEW? Did they mean?
Yeah, but they're problems. They're such loyalists. Again, we've had the discussion. They're not going to walk across the street to watch an indie show,
right?
But they think they're qualified to discuss.
Or they're the ones that go to the
wrestling.
indie shows and sit there and go, "Where's the pyro?" This isn't like the WWE.
Right.
You know.
I would almost bet you money that if you could poll some of these people, if they've ever been to an indie show, or if there was an indie show right across the street, would you go? Their answer would be no. Overwhelming majority of the bobbleheads.
The universe, sir.
Yes,
it's a universe.
The universe. There it is. There. Okay, the universe.
Well, I mean, it's
universal
idiots. Universal idiots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like we've said before. There's the people that watch wrestling to watch wrestling. They watch that. They watch any type of show just because they like the sport and the show that is wrestling. And then you have the ones that are WWE loyalists, and the ones that are AEW loyalists, and the ones that will hate whatever WWE does just because it's the WWE. And then you have the ones that hate AEW because, I don't know, because they're idiots. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't matter, you know. And then you have the ones like Meltzer who sits there and just spews out shit. And then everybody's like, oh. Then you got the has-beens like Vince Russo who's commenting on something like anyone takes his opinion seriously in this day and time. He'd be the first account I'd block on Twitter if I owned it.
It's amazing to me to see the amount of people that just live off of their one moment, their 15 minutes. It really is amazing.
And isn't it amazing how many people that the WWE has made them to a point, you know, and now because it's cool to bash, they're like, oh, you know, it's like, you know, or it's like, oh, well, you know, like Vince Russo. Vince Russo is just an idiot. But it's cool to bash whatever. Then you got the crazy man, Jim Cornette, who just doesn't like anything.
Old man yells at cloud.
I mean, in one episode of listening to Jim Cornette Experience, he's fussing. He's fussing that he has to go to the post office several times to mail all the packages that people keep buying. And then he thanks everybody for buying stuff off his website.
Thanks for making me have to go to the goddamn post office.
I'm like, if you don't want to go to, like quit your bitching, man.
So before I get us to our new segment, our new test run,
I don't think we're going there.
You don't think so? You don't think we're going to make it?
No. Because, we still have the huge announcement.
That's true. We do have the huge announcement. One thing I did want to point out from Rampage, and this is just something that hopped off the page to me. Robin, Renegade, and Ruby Soho, they pulled Twin Magic out on AEW. I had no idea that Robin and Charlotte Renegade actually existed, much less that they would even try this. But the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament qualifying matchup was actually quite entertaining, and it took both of them to try to do the switcheroo 2 or 3 times, and they still couldn't get it done. I don't know why you would have switched them up so many different times, but at least it was funny. I'll give you that.
Well, you try and keep the fresh one in there. That's why you switch them up.
Yeah, but, if you do it like twice, once, all right, wow, whoa, they did it again. Now 3 times, you're like, all right, look, what are you doing?
Yeah. Maybe they were just blatantly taking a jab at somebody. Maybe they were poking the bear. Maybe that means we're going to get Twin Magic.
Are you saying we're going to get the Bellas and the Renegades in the ring at the same time?
Let's do it.
Yes! Greatest idea ever.
And then we just Twin Magic the whole match.
Just keep switching out. Oh, my God.
Just keep switching out.
See Bryce Remsburg like, what the hell? Who are you?
Or they can have Robin Renegade and the other one just switch out one time, and then when they roll out, it's one of the Bellas.
Oh, shit. Well, Brie Bella does go to a lot of the AEW shows. So that would be awesome.
We'll have screwed up Twin Magic. That would be hilarious. That would be absolutely hilarious.
Don't put it past Tony Khan. He'll try
Could you imagine? Yeah. She goes to the ring. Next thing you know, Brie comes out the other side. Twin Magic!
Brie mode! Damn it.
Yeah, I think I would even pop for that one. I'd be like, this is the greatest Twin Magic moment ever.
Khan would do it, then he'd have Danhausen to close out this segment. Just to keep all the hijinks rolling.
That's funny.
Let's see.
Rob's
Nyla
over
Rose.
there. That's a dumb idea.
Nyla Rose and Thunder Rosa had a nice little title match. Again, I think the highlight of Saturday is Gresham and Dalton Castle. That's right, Saturday. I had it wrong earlier. It wasn't Friday. It was Saturday. Rampage, the big highlight, obviously, is the Texas Death Match. And then Wednesday, there's a lot of different things that happened, but I feel like Samoa Joe and Suzuki was great. Punk and Penta was cool. And then Brian mentioned it. We find out on, was it Sunday? Yeah, I think it was Sunday. We find out there's a major announcement coming from Tony Khan about this coming Wednesday.
That on Friday, maybe.
They may have. Again, it all bleeds together with so much wrestling happening this past week. But here, there's a lot of different rumors and scuttlebutt going on about this announcement. Now, the big one is New Japan and AEW putting on a supercard event. Brian, that's your baby right there. That's your dream event.
We're getting closer, but I want a true supercard. I want like one of the classic old-time supercards where they got like 4 or 5 federations at once.
Well, you technically could because, Khan owns Ring of Honor, so that's 3. NWA.
Impact.
And Impact, yeah. There you go. There's your event. And trust me, it won't be much longer until Tony Khan buys another company. I feel like this guy's got the bug. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to buy another one. What's the price for NWA? I'll buy that one.
No, I don't think you'll get NWA. I think you'd get Impact first.
Oh, I bet he could get Impact cheap.
NWA was bought by the guy from Smashing Pumpkins because he's a wrestling fan. So
yeah,
he ain't going to give up his hobby.
Yeah.
He's not going to give up his man cave.
Yeah, but who owns Impact?
Anthem Entertainment.
Anthem. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they might eventually give it up and go, but
I mean, Anthem must have believed in Impact pretty well to buy a network just to put them on TV.
Well, I don't think it was just off of that. I mean, I doubt. To me, that would be dumb. Be like, yeah, I believe in Impact enough to buy a TV station.
You guys can air 5 nights a week if you want. Oh, just one night? Okay.
We got to give one night to Wayne's World.
Think the entire town of Aurora is watching?
Yeah.
Aurora. Yeah, but I mean, who couldn't be excited over a Super Show though?
It'd be awesome.
I mean, the possibilities are endless. So that in and of itself is huge. And with Omega out, and at least so far I know he's out, you've got a lot of opportunity there. I mean, Okada, who do you put him against?
Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, whatever he is now.
Bryan Danielson, Danielson Bryan.
There we go.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. See, Vince, this is why you don't change the names.
Yeah, really. You screwed up our brains. Got Moxley and Tanahashi. That's happening before this possible show.
Is that DC?
That's DC. That show, by the way, is going to be freaking gigantic. I'm curious as to how well it will draw.
It's almost all sold out. It may even be sold out by now.
I hope so. I hope it's at the same arena that Dynamite was at recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Great arena.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely know what seats you don't want.
Which ones are those, Rob?
I'd say we need one. If we're going to get those seats, we need the seats one row back.
Oh, the one against the wall is the ideal one. And plus, I mean,
yeah.
Realistically, you could see it wasn't really a bad seat. It was just tight quarters.
It wasn't bad. It was steep.
Yes, that it was. Those steps were steep. I was surprised.
I'm surprised they sold alcohol up in our section.
Lord knows they'd had enough of it up there. Sheesh. It was storytelling.
And then don't forget, but what better way to unveil Kushida leaving?
Oh yeah.
Than to put him in a match.
So I'm not, so naive where I would say that I don't know nothing about Kushida's New Japan days, but I can tell you that my familiarity with him was limited to whatever I could find on YouTube. I can also tell you that the gross mishandling of this guy's career when he got to WWE, oh, wow, what a positive theme, right? This is a guy that now that he is free and clear, yeah, it makes perfect sense for him to show back up in New Japan. And, hey, if that just happens to put him on this potential supercard, hell yes. Hell yes. And I bet you could probably get Alex Shelley to get in there to get the Time Splitters back together. And why don't we just go ahead and run it all back and get Roppongi Vice back together? Let's do a tag match between them four. I'm in for that.
I mean, the match, this is crazy if you look at the matches. The Elite finally takes on the Bullet Club.
Which, if you can't pull enough hardcore just go to Chicago. Let's do it. We'll do it in Chicago. We'll sell 15,000 seats. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they're talking, Chicago. June. What did I put on the other day? What did I see? Like June 23rd or something? Something like that. Yeah, see? Now you see why I get excited for a super show.
I'm scrolling through. I can't find the date that you put in there. I want to say you was towards the end of June, though. There. The big thing tomorrow. Now, the other big part of the rumor has been trios titles. Now, Ring of Honor had 6-man titles, so it's not exactly out of the realm of possibility. There's not been an announced TV deal for Ring of Honor. And then the third prevailing theory is a streaming service for AEW / Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, to me, like the streaming service is okay, but you could do that off TV. The trios titles would be okay, but again, you could do that off TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, normally he doesn't miss too much on his huge announcements. If it's not New Japan versus AEW, somebody's getting a karate chop.
You're going to have to travel down to Jacksonville for that one.
It might just be the dog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
You're like, come here, Solo.
Innocent bystander. Then you get bit. Then we find out that you get rabies. I mean, it's dogs and cats living together. It's all mass hysteria.
But again, I mean, they're working so closely together. They're working better together than Impact and AEW did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to me, that's my pick.
Who do you put Adam Page against?
Well, so I mean, there's probably
Maybe they do
a lot
some,
you could do with them.
Maybe they do some like interbrand matches and then branded matches. So maybe he defends against Cole again, or
yeah, but
you know what I mean.
But you could honestly like put him with the Bucks, and as part of the Elite, or the Bullet Club that's not the Bullet Club no more, whatever. Or he could face Jay White. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, him and Jay White would be good.
Yeah, like
I'd
with
be down
him,
for that.
you could get a little Bullet Club action, and not necessarily have him defend the title, but have them be in a higher profile type match.
I'd want to see Ospreay and Danielson. That's what I want to see.
I don't know, man. I want to see. I think Okada and Danielson. For me.
Oh, I'm absolutely dead sure that their match would be amazing too, no doubt.
Okay, and that's one guy I think Danielson said he wanted to fight.
He did.
Was
he
Okada.
Did.
So,
Rob, haven't heard much from you on this. What are your thoughts on a potential super card between AEW and New Japan?
I mean, it'll happen before we know it.
Right.
I mean, they've been hitting at it for a while, and I think also that's maybe why, New Japan's push to come to the U.S. has kind of backed off. Because before the pandemic, they were all like, we're going to debut a U.S. version of New Japan,
Right, right. New Japan strong.
Right. Well, then they kind of backed off a little bit on it, and now you're seeing more and more of them crossing over. So it's just going to be a natural thing. They're gonna unveil it and be like, boom, here you go.
mm-hmm.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, no way. Oh, my Lord.
Dude.
We might would have to go to Wrestle Kingdom if it ever came to the States.
Wrestle Kingdom in the States would have to draw at least 50,000.
Wrestle Kingdom, Double or Nothing.
No, yeah, but honestly, though, think about it, Stan. It wouldn't, because, like, depending on the time, you could do it in the States and simulcast it over to Japan.
Oh,
and
sure.
It would probably do.
I mean, they do the same thing over there. They do it there and then bring it over here. So
no, because that's like 3:00 in the morning. I can't stay up for that crap no more.
what I'm saying is they've done it over there. So I mean, I could see them doing a huge pay-per-view over here and saying partner with AEW, pulling out all the stops. You can't tell me the Superfan and Tony Khan wouldn't be like, yes, let's do it.
I think it's coming. I mean, AEW partnered with New Japan to be streamed on New Japan World over in Japan, if I remember right. Is that right?
They just announced their partnership with them just recently to start broadcasting Dynamite and Rampage. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they're a natural fit, and not to say like you're gonna take down the WWE, but you really want to punch them in the mouth. You combine the second and third biggest, or not combine, but you align the second and third biggest promotions in the world. This could get interesting.
Man, it's interesting. I'm thinking of all of the different combinations of what we could see. And granted, I mean, there's been a lot of coming and goings from all companies lately, but just on the surface, you've got Suzuki, Tanahashi, Okada, Ishii,
Naito, Evil.
Thank you, Jesus! I couldn't remember the damn name. There's so many people that it's so interchangeable too. That's the even cooler part. Not to mention, we could finally get Guerrillas of Destiny versus the Bucks. Like I've only been predicting for the past 6 years. What the hell? My luck, we still won't get that.
No, I don't think so. Because I think I don't know how you would get them. I think you'd probably get the Bullet Club versus the Bucks first.
Yeah.
Because the Bullet Club's trying to push into America big time now. So you would probably get to see the Bullet Club showcase before the Guerrillas.
Excuse me.
Well,
and then don't forget you got what's his name? Omega's partner.
Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, Ibushi. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if he'll be back by then. I think he's hurt, but God, could you imagine if like you had a Ibushi versus Omega? Oh.
See, I'm hesitant to mention Omega because of all of the surgeries that guy's been going through. But yeah, just the possibility.
Ibushi versus Danielson.
That would be awesome. I mean, the different mixtures you can come up with there would be great.
Yeah, the Golden Lovers versus like Danielson and Okada. What? And then don't forget Ospreay. Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
I'd love to see Mox versus Naito. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely in for that. That would be a great one.
Yeah.
So that announcement will come to us tomorrow night.
Yep.
Tomorrow night on Dynamite. I wonder if we open the show with that.
God, see, if Tony needs to learn not to open the show with it. Tony needs to do it at the very end. Because if you do it at first, you're going to get people turning the channel, especially if it's not big enough. But if you do it at the end and you put a great main event prior to it, then you'll get people that will at least watch, the final half hour or whatever.
Well, I think that's a good thing. You put some teasers at the beginning. Hey, tonight we got a special announcement from Tony Khan. Midway through, don't forget we got that special announcement, and then you get to your main event segment, and there it is. Yeah, not a bad call.
I mean, because remember how many times did people remember that show that they had a couple months ago where he promised 2 unveilings or something?
Oh,
and
yeah.
So, we had one, and then everybody watched the whole thing going, is that it? Was that it? Did I miss it?
That's true.
You got to tease it all the way through it, because if you give it up, it's like that's what surprised me on Raw after Mania that they let Cody Rhodes come out first. So it's just like the news channels. They're like, oh, they tease one story. It's like, ooh, I actually want to listen to that. Ah, damn it. It's the 5th story after the 3rd commercial.
Yeah, he'll learn, but if it's like really like earth shattering, he should do it at the very end.
I didn't know that the Road Dogg had a podcast, but he says in his podcast that I'm still not 100% sure that the Montreal Screwjob was all real. Wow, Road Dogg. Wow. Thanks, buddy. Jesus.
Yeah, but who is sure? I'm not sure.
I mean, I thought it was pretty convenient that Bret Hart just happened to have a camera crew with him.
Yeah, for a whole year, and then it ends with that.
I suppose you feel like we didn't land on the moon either.
Though all I'm saying is back then during that time, Vince McMahon would have been clever enough to have pulled that off.
Oh, definitely. At that point, he's like, we'll do whatever we got to do. Let's do this, Brett. You're going to go? Okay, fine. Let's do this. Yeah, hit me in the face. Hit me as hard as you can, Brett.
Yeah. Camera crew and nobody catches the punch.
Right, right. Mysteriously, they can't get into this room.
Which one was it? Dave or Earl was like, yeah, it was a work.
Well, Scott Hall does it, too, during Dark Side of the Ring. It's like, yeah, it was a work. That's what we all know. Brett doesn't want to admit it, but it was a work.
And then, maybe Goldberg scrambled that part of his brain.
And now he can't
So Brett
remember.
has truly forgotten it was a work.
Oh, my God. We're going to hell for laughing at that, but that could possibly be. Shit.
And then if Sean could see straight, he would be like, that was all right. But
He can't see.
is that you over there, Vince?
Hey, Hunter, how's it going? You're talking to the wall, Sean. Shit! I did it again. Let's see. As we get ready to close out, hey, you were right. We didn't make it to the new thing. I'll have to give it a shot another day. Moon Knight, if you haven't had checked that,
by the way.
Yeah, I know. We could just say, hey, I don't want to do that, but no. We just got to stretch it.
All right. Okay. In all fairness, give us one of them. Just one of them.
It's too late. I've already scrolled away from
No,
them.
just one. Give me
Just one.
Yep.
I swear to God, I know what you're going to do, but if I get to it and you do this, I'm going to be so pissed. Miserable bastard. I don't even want to read it, because I know if I do it, I know what you're going to
read
do.
it.
And you haven't even said anything yet.
Yeah, read it.
Okay.
Jack Wagon.
I don't know why blank is still actively wrestling. Fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank. I don't know why. So does like D's nuts count? Or what?
You bastard. No, it doesn't count.
Who's somebody?
Does your mama count?
Oh, wait.
Damn.
That doesn't count either?
No.
Oh.
Y'all are assholes. I just want you to know that.
I come from a long line of assholes.
Oh, it's a real human centipede up there. We know.
God, I don't even know. I don't even know who I would put in a blank outside of D's nuts.
Folks, I sent them
Vince
these
McMahon,
on
there you
Sunday. That's
Vince
a good one.
McMahon.
Oh yeah, Vince McMahon. That's a good one, Rob. I like Rob's answer. Vince McMahon.
Why is
I'm sure
Vince
you
McMahon
did.
actively wrestling?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good
And
one.
why can a man who has as much money as him not have enough money to not show pit stains in his shirt when he takes his
Ugh.
jacket off?
Wait. No, there has to be a blank in there. That's like, why does blank wear T-shirts with pit stains?
You guys are.
And
real
then Rob
dicks.
can say your mama, and I can say these nuts. Why does these nuts have pit stains?
Ew. Now that's disgusting. And I'm going to go vomit. That's going to do it for us here. Catch up with Rob at Rob Hefner.
Wait till you
C2C
see
on
one
Twitter.
with double blanks.
Oh, my God. Catch up with Brian.